I think the prospect of making an Amazing Spider-Man 3, that seems like a big leap. It does. But after the kind of year we've had, or this one movie, I can see a scenario where it could be kind of possible that they could do it. What's happening there, Reject Nation? Greg and John here. Today, we just got done doing like a 5-hour Spider-Man No Way Home live stream, and all I want to do is tell you to go watch that. Don't watch this. Just go watch the 5 hours of us, all right? Nah, man, there was something really eye-opening about it, because while we've had like talks with friends, you know, off camera, like real spoiler heavy, there hasn't been like a ton of people that we've gotten to really talk to spoiler-wise. While we were live streaming, hashtag The Amazing Spider-Man 3 or TASM3 and Andrew Garfield, hundreds of thousands of tweets started going on and about. The big rumor right now is Sony is going to be considering new multiple projects for Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man. It was just so eye-opening in the live stream because out of 5 hours, kid you not, like throughout the entire time, not really people mentioning Tobey Maguire, but I would say like half of the time, people were talking about Andrew freaking Garfield, and that made me so happy. The live streams can be really eye-opening because they let you know like what the biggest takeaway often tends to be from a movie, because you see what the most reoccurring sentiments are. It was cool to hear because we both did a rewatch of all the Spider-Man films prior to No Way Home, and it was funny because I remember hopping on the phone with you when I was like trying to hunt down a new Spider-Man shirt at the mall, and I was talking with you about like, because you guys know I've been like a religious like Tobey Maguire devotee, like #1 pinnacle impossible. And then rewatching all the movies, like it back to back over the course of a couple days, I found myself going, I think it's actually Andrew Garfield is my favorite one. I think he's my favorite. And truth be told, I've kind of backed on Amazing Spider-Man 2, and now I don't love it, but I liked it quite a bit.
Things to appreciate.
And Spider-Man 3 went down for me, and Spider-Man 1 actually went. I was kind of surprised by it. We want to do a ranking video, especially after realizing just how much shifting was happening. And so I was exceptionally more excited at the prospect of Andrew Garfield popping up in No Way Home. When we were in the theaters, and then when people saw the suit of Andrew Garfield, every time we've seen it, the amount of people freaking out. And then when he takes his mask off, the amount of people freaking out. And the fact that the big hype leading into this, and tell me if you agree with this, didn't it seem like people were mainly about, okay, maybe Andrew Garfield, but Tobey, right? Toby's gonna be right. It's gotta be Tobey, right? Yeah. That seemed to be the main driving force of hype and possibility.
Oh yeah, 100%. Because I mean, you know, Tobey Maguire's got the 3 films on Andrew Garfield's 2, and yeah, I feel like TASM 2 especially has a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths. And so while the lead up was happening, my impression that I kept getting was people were like, yeah, it'd be cool if Andrew Garfield showed up, but Tobey Maguire.
Yeah. So to be coming out of No Way Home and to see that the main person we're hearing about is Andrew Garfield
stole the show in a lot of people's eyes.
That makes me really happy. Because one thing, what I was telling you, like the day before we went to the premiere, was I really got the impression upon a rewatch that the Amazing Spider-Man movies just kind of came out a little bit too soon. You know, like if you cut back to when Amazing Spider-Man came out, it was just a couple years after Spider-Man 3. There was the talk of the time that Spider-Man 4 is going to be happening, and then they were even doing interviews saying like, no, we want this to be great. Sam Raimi was like, we want to see the best one possible. Then they just scrap it and reboot it, and it's like this darker version, and it's such an opposite type of Spider-Man movie in so many ways. I just didn't think people were ready to accept this new iteration at the time, because I remember liking Amazing Spider-Man 1 a lot, but feeling like uncomfortable to admit that. It seemed like everyone...
Those movies get a bad rap, but especially the first one I remember enjoying just fine.
And then I walked into Amazing Spider-Man 2, and I went, I actually kind of like this one. You know, like, well, I could see the flaws for sure. I kind of like this one quite a bit.
Be appreciated.
I think it's better than Spider-Man 3. So
I'm gonna put some dirt in your eye.
There's a key moment in No Way Home that lends itself to a portion that made me go, this would be a cool Amazing Spider-Man 3 movie to see. When he talks to Tom Holland about, I gave into my rage. I got consumed by it.
Stop pulling my punches.
Stop pulling my punches. And when you hear that, you kind of go, man, that sounds like a really cool dark-ass Spider-Man movie.
I can already see it in my mind's eye.
And hearing the response from people going, I wish we could see that movie, just confirmed my thoughts of, see, now people will be ready for a dark-ass Spider-Man movie, right?
Well, yeah, and I feel like it's also a benefit that now we've had another recasting of Spider-Man in Tom Holland, because part of the thing that I think dogged Andrew Garfield, aside from the time it took or didn't take for them to reboot it, is the fact that everyone was married to this one live-action portrayal, barring the one from the 70s, and then, you know, now that there have been two, I feel like people will be a lot more open to whoever steps into the shoes. And so now that's coming back around for Andrew Garfield.
I think the prospect of making an amazing Spider-Man 3, that seems like a big leap. It does. But after the kind of year we've had, or this one movie, I do start to wonder, like, I could see a scenario where it could be kind of possible that they could do it, especially where you have where the Tom Holland one is at, that is in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and as they established, like, not even the Avengers exist in the Amazing Spider-Man world. And it's such a different tone and vibe and placement of a character, and I think what this movie did really well, No Way Home, was establishing how just very different the three of them are, that you could do your own subsection, but some of the main rumors, Sony's considering having him around for multiple projects, and it just started making me wonder, and we did bring this up in the live stream, everything we're seeing about Morbius is just getting like really freaking confusing, because in No Way Home, Norman Osborn states there's no Oscorp, but in the Morbius trailer you see an Oscorp building, so you're like, okay, must be in the Venomverse, but wait a minute, in Tom Holland's Spider-Man there's no Oscorp. And then in the background, in that shot that was going around, it's the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man suit in the PlayStation game. You're like, but that doesn't fit. And then at the Oscorp building too, the logo in Oscorp, I believe in Amazing Spider-Man, is like that.
Vertical, yeah.
When then the Morbius, it's the same font.
Text, yeah, it's the same font.
It's the same font. So like maybe
Whose universe is this?
Maybe it would actually be Andrew Garfield's. Maybe they changed the photo around it to keep it hidden or surprise, or I don't know, or Morbius is just confusing and doesn't know what universe it exists in, right? Like I don't know. It's weird. Like I was mainly really excited for Tobey Maguire to come back. Then doing the rewatch just a week before No Way Home, I was then like really looking forward to Andrew Garfield, and to see the response that he's been getting so far just makes me really fucking happy. Like I'm really happy, and I hope he's happy, because it really seemed like, he just dealt with so much crap, and then, like if anyone had like the most toxic leaving of a relationship between Toby and Andrew, it was Andrew. It was such a public discourse thing that occurred from like the leaks and stuff, and then why they decided to reboot him, like Andrew didn't show up for that meeting and it pissed me off, like that whole thing that went down. And then also, leading into No Way Home, how he just gets bombarded with, are you in No Way Home? Are you in No Way Home? I don't want it to become like a Ben Affleck's Batman situation for him, where he gets so turned off again.
It's a curse now.
Yeah, exactly. Even though that's part of Spider-Man, but I don't want it to be like turned off for him. At the same time, I love the idea of him continuing to do this, because he really did shine on his own a lot in No Way Home.
Yeah, and it seems like his portrayal, especially as even compared to Tobey Maguire, seems like there's a lot more to do there, whereas Tobey feels more like, a send-off, a stamp on something that's already got a legacy, whereas, Andrew seems like you could do anything with it moving forward.
But guys, what do you think about the idea of Andrew Garfield showing up in some other, maybe in the Venomverse side of things of the Spider-Man world, whatever the hell this is called? Leave your thoughts down below, subscribe, click that notification bell, hit that like button, and last but not least, let's do a Rosa Para. It's Christmas time, my dear, so I hope you're having a wonderful time with your family. I hope you're giving your kids tons of presents, tons of love. I hope you have yourself a sexy-ass Santa Claus to kick it with this Christmas time. When the kids go to bed, they gotta be asleep for cookies. You got some... Don't make that joke. It's milk related.
Oh, yes.
You know what I'm saying?
I know what you're
Fill
saying.
in the blank,
I got
Rosa.
a ton of ideas of what that could have been.
Not towards your kids.
Love you, Rosa.
But towards the Santa. You know what I mean?
Towards Santa, the
Towards
adult Santa.
You've been such a long-time supporter of our Patreon page, and we really appreciate it, and I hope 2022 you just kick even more ass than you've already been doing. Happy New Year. Make it a blessed one. With some milk.